Let's start this Elenos webinar. We are going to speak about DAB digital transmitters. So I am here with Daniele Prosperini, Customer Care Elenos. Welcome, Daniele. And with Frank Massa, directly from Bangkok. He's going to speak later about the Elenos company. So for the first 10 minutes, he will be the presenter. And after Daniele, he will speak about the DAB technology. So he will make an overview, a very brief and quick overview about the DAB technology and how Elenos approaches and what solution can offer Elenos about the DAB. And in the last 10 minutes, Frank again is going to speak and to present us some examples about the coverage that the DAB can offer. So Frank, welcome from Bangkok. Can you hear me?
Hello, this is Frank.
Hi Frank. So I'm going to give you the presenter role so that you can speak us about the Elenos company for those that still don't know who is Elenos. And so let's try this. Okay. Frank, now you can open your presentation.
Okay, can everybody see the Elenos screen okay?
Yeah, now we see it. Okay.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess it takes about 2 seconds to get here. I'm actually south of Bangkok, about 100 miles in a place called Chonburi, which is one of the main manufacturing areas in Thailand, where they manufacture cars and a lot of electronics here. But the good side is that it's close to a lot of the beaches also. Let's see. Well, what I'm going to do is spend some time talking about Elenos as a company, and no better place than to start out about Elenos is, as you can see from this, hopefully you can see my cursor. We're up here in this part of the north here, northeast, and we come from the land of what we call art and technology. So everyone talks about Silicon Valley, California as a technology center. Well, Italy has this corridor as both the land of art and technology. So great artists, singers such as Luciano Pavarotti and other great artists come from this area, as well as well-known cars and motorcycle manufacturers such as Ferrari. Not so good in Formula One lately, but I think they'll have a better year this year. And Ducati for motorcycles. But Elenos is here, and our headquarters is outside of the Bologna, Italy area, in northern Italy, in an area which my folks over there could talk about. But since I'm generally a visitor to Bologna, I'll tell you that it's just a wonderful area with a great place to see, and we invite you all to visit sometime. We'd love to see you. Our customers, Elenos has many, many customers, which can all be representative in one slide, but you can see some of these main type of broadcasters like MTV, BBC World, and NPR. Also, one of our great customers is Radio Maria worldwide, including in probably in most of the continents. I know at least here in Asia. So we're very, very pleased to serve these great networking companies and broadcast facilities, and we've been doing so for many, many years. So just a briefer on, although we'll be talking about DAB today, our roots come in the FM area from 88 to 108 megahertz, and no better place than to talk about our low power transmitters, 2 rack units. I'm sure most of you are familiar with our products, to our 4 rack unit products from 2.5 to 5 kilowatt. The 2 RUs go all the way up to 2 kilowatt, and also some new 3 kilowatt product in 2 rack units. Very, very compact. In addition, we started high-power transmitters from left to right, 10 kilowatt, 32 RU, or actually 20 RU in spaces, but we put in a 32 RU rack, 15 kilowatt as well, all the way up to 30 kilowatts. So a lot of the companies you saw previously are using this broad product line of Elenos technology. I think what's important also to point out is as we deal on the broadcast worldwide stage, we need the certifications for ISO 9001, and we also have ISO 14001 certification. So one deals mainly with we document what we do and so forth, so that we're a reliable source as we continue with our order taking and shipments and design and so forth. It's a very well-known process, the ISO certification. The ISO 14001 is a little bit different, but it's in general an optional thing. But we feel it's important. It deals also a lot with globally with having a green planet, as well as this RoHS compliant, which deals with lead-free based soldering boards. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, I guess I'm just making sure I see a network thing come up here. I hope everybody can hear me. Okay, one thing to talk about, and I think Elenos has been a leader in this area, at least in the broadcast industry, with planar technology for many, many years. And we do this for several reasons. One is to improve the size and reduce the size of the equipment, but also we deploy the planar technology to add life to the product, simplification for manufacturing. So this is how we're able to achieve some price points that are quite attractive to our customers, because we're able to reduce the number of manufacturing procedures. Two things that what it does is reduce the cost, but it also reduces the cost for very difficult tuning of coils and capacitors and things like that. We can do this with planar technology. It's virtually designed, proven in, and not a lot of tweaks that have to be done in the manufacturing cycle. Here's another example of two other parts. First, you have our RF section of one of our compact systems, and you can see the combiner system here in the background, and you can see the MOSFET technology and the drivers in front, and then the low-pass filter. I think this comes from a 5 kilowatt, a 5 RU system. So a lot goes into our designs to increase the efficiency of the equipment, the size, and also the quality and long life for our products. The first technology we talk about, we call it ICEFET. It's as simple as really what we do is we engineer the design of our driver circuits, and we underutilize the full power potential so that we can keep the temperature low, hence the name ICEFET Technology. So this gives us very high efficiency throughout all power ranges. So we get the same efficiency whether you're using 10% of the power or 100% of the power of the system. So this is unique technology and generally unmarked by any other manufacturers. Again, the low temperatures generally with ICEFET, we're able to run somewhere in the 40 to 42 degrees C temperature at the MOSFETs, which is incredible. This gives us, again, a longer life product because we're not stressing the critical components for the system. Another part of our technology is what we call EcoSavings quality. And EcoSavings is something it's a win-win, good for the customer, good for Elenos, good for the ecology of the planet. So basically, very, very important these days that with the expense of electricity and power to run our systems, that we run as efficient as possible. So with EcoSavings, we're also able to give you a lot of options to be able to run at and preset different power levels to run over a 24/7 period. Yet another technology, and all these three technologies that I'm talking about, they run together with our smart technology and our transmitters. And Lifextender, to me, is a very, very special part of our techniques that we offer into all our products, including the DAB that you'll see. And this allows us to basically very closely monitor temperatures and voltages of our equipment and the status by the different components are able to feed to the controller what's going on, and we're able to reduce power or raise power or and so forth, being able to run in tough environments. So, for example, if it's a very cold environment, we may want to run less of the fans. If it's a hot environment, if your air conditioning breaks, then we'll probably most likely run all the fans on the system and at a higher speed. So basically what this does is we watch the performance of the system, the power output, VisWire, and various components of the system. We're able to keep our performance standards, okay, under various stress conditions that are induced by the equipment installed in the field. Here's an infrared view of basically of one of our, this is a 2 kilowatt transmitter, and you can see here that we're running just close to, this is right over the RF section here in the MOSFETs, running in about close to 40 degrees C. The entire scale on this runs from 45 down to 23, so you get a pretty good idea about how important we like to keep the equipment running at this cool temperatures. Hence what we call ICEFET technology. Also in our designs, it's very, very important for long life products and various environments. I mean, we have pollution environments in big cities, and we have high salt content and humid environments near the equator and desert. It's all quite different. So our design is predominantly built around aluminum-based chassis, and we've gone to extreme measures to make sure that we do not have any dissimilar metal issues. And these can be a problem in areas where there's high humidity or high salt content in the air. So the design here is yet, you know, let's call it a low-tech solution to a high-tech problem. One thing that at least I'm very impressed with since I've been with Elenos, and the team is very proud of, is our power supplies. And these are all our own design, and they're designed for transmitter technology, in particular FM, or in the case of the DAB. These are designed specifically to run 24/7, designed for broadcast features, not as computer switching power supplies, not for military use, this kind of thing. These are designed specifically for our products and for broadcast. And again, they remain part of the intelligent features, and that we're able to communicate from the power supplies to the controller, which it's a happy system integration of remaining as efficient as possible within specification. So, yet another area to talk about. A lot of you have seen our analog exciters. If you look at the very top of this picture, you'll see our new digital option. And digital is all what we've done basically with the digital technology. And this is important for the DAB, and that the DAB will use only the digital option. It's required for synchronization and so forth for DAB. And Daniele will explain a little bit more about that, some of the features. But you can see at the top here that most of the discrete analog components of a stereo inputs and various other operations for the exciter are programmed by a programmable gate array, or FPGA. So again, this allows us to have more consistency in manufacturing. And in the digital world, it's very, very important in that we gain at least another 20 dB of receiver sensitivity by using the digital exciter option, which allows us to take advantage of digital receivers that the customers use at the other end. So Daniele will, I'm sure, explain a little bit more about the digital option. Here's a closer view of this. You can see the programmable gate array here, but if you look at this, and a lot of you may or may not be familiar with what a typical exciter looks like, but we're excited about this technology, not only for the DAB, but also for our FM products. That this puts us in a new space of being able to provide better, more consistent solutions across our product lines. Another part of what we include in all our system design is total control, and this is control for remote control and remote management. So you're able to always be able to, whether you look at it through a computer or through the front panel, you're able to look at up to 260 different elements on a transmitter system. So maybe you want to look at the temperature of the MOSFETs, power amplifiers. Maybe you want to look at the temperature of the box, temperature of the environment, a long list, on and on and on. But since we're mainly talking about DAB today, I'll move on. But these products in the DAB area also have the same functionality as with our FM products. We do this by two different ways. One is we put something that we call e-box either as an external device that connects up to a serial interface, or we put this integrated into the actual enclosure of the transmitter. So you can see a typical monitoring situation, and this is done at FM 90 megahertz, and you can see in this case, basically it's showing 1500 watts. In this case, up to a possibility of 5 kilowatt. We also, and this is my compadre or Daniele Prosperini, who will also be speaking here soon. And I think this is actually from one of the seminars he did here in Asia. So we do have training courses that go from a wide range of training our partners and resellers in various countries worldwide, as well as training our customers individually for maintenance, for installation, and so forth. So part of our offerings. Support, we provide 24/7 support for our products, and we have a full facility, of course, at Elenos for to test and duplicate situations that you might see in the field, and to be able to support you during installation or during maintenance, or in the event that something could go wrong by getting a lightning strike or high AC voltage or something like that. At the same time, we also train most of our evaluated resellers to be able to perform the same function in the field. So, without further ado, I would like to pass the microphone and the presentation on to Daniele Prosperini. Thank you.
Okay, good morning to all. Frank, thank you so much for your presentation and for your always support and activity in your area. Okay, gentlemen, we can start for very fast overview about the DAB and or in general for digital radio. We can see very fast overview about the roadmap for digital radio. Start from FM analog signal, FM analog transmission in the 1940 year, and we will up to arrive from today for DAB, DAB plus, and DRM plus digital signal and digital technology for digital radio. Our is DAB, DAB plus, or TDMB or DRM is start for DAB, for example, start the experimentation and try and test for coverage about the 1995 up to 2007 achieve the DAB plus coverage and experimentation signal. Up to today, the most popular standard use is the DB plus for DAB transmitter for DAB application. Obviously, as for all audio standard, the video standard, and all application, we need to respect the rule and the normative present in ETSI official document. Next you can see our devices, and all our devices is compliant for ETSI specification and ETSI rule. Okay, what are the best popular DAB feature respect to analog radio or analog FM application? Okay. Or why? In the end of story is why DAB? Because DAB is give a most feature respect to the analog FM, a relationship also for quality of signal, capability and or possibility to add or modify the content, the data list, data service, and also is the possibility to put in only one channel more different network with a very high quality for audio, and also for high quality for data service or data map. Okay, today, what is the situation today for FM network, for big FM network or for small radio? Today, for example, a very big network that use FM transmitter, analog FM transmitter, need more different frequency or more different sites and type of transmitter for coverage a big area, a big country. This cause a big quantity of transmitter installed, cost of maintenance, assistance, coverage, and also a cost of maintenance for frequency assignment, frequency assignation, and so on. If we can have the possibility to switch between analog FM to DAB or DAB plus technology, what is the first benefit? The first benefit is more network, more one network with different channel, with different radio, up to 12 in DAB plus technology, coverage the same area with using a not is depend of the type of the area, but not big number of transmitter, low power. This means cost of reduction of cost of operation, cost of installation and maintenance, but improve the quality of coverage and also the quality of signal. What is the Elenos position about this new technology? Elenos position, Elenos is ready from a year ago, but from this year is completely ready because have in the position to offer, sell and install a completely portfolio of DAB devices and DAB transmitter, only amplifier or DAB transmitter turnkey solution. Our typical configuration is a DAB transmitter composed by DAB amplifier with exciter integrated inside for low and medium power, with external exciter for high power, channel filter, rack, fan, monitoring, power distribution tool, and so on, and ready for install directly in RF site. Or if you want, Elenos can give a support for development, delivery, and choice the best antenna system coverage configuration. Now we are in the position to have two different lines, low power and medium power with exciter inside. Exciter is a completely development by Elenos thanks to a digital technology. We using FPGA motherboard that provide to obtain the DAB plus audio modulation. This is located inside the Howard amplifier for 300 and 600 watt transmitter, because he has development by a 4-unit mechanical dimension for 300 and 600 watt. For 1000 watt, all this level of power is warranty after channel filter. For 1 kilowatt, we have in the position to offer amplifier with external exciter in only one mechanical rack unit for the exciter, and only for 4 mechanical units for amplifier. What is the best issue about our product? Is a compact dimension. You can think that only 4 mechanical racks, only 4 unit mechanical size for 1 kilowatt amplifier for DAB, 1 unit for exciter, or 600 watt and 300 watt in only 4 unit with exciter integrated inside. The maximum weight will be 338 kg for 1 kilowatt amplifier. This means easy to installation, easy to maintenance, and very reduction for the cost for transportation and for shipment. Our system, our cooling system is air cooled up to 1 kilowatt, but we are in the position to put in parallel more amplifier up to 3 kilowatt or 5 kilowatt completely transmitter. All systems are completely remotable by SNMP and the web interface and SNMP management. All transmitter also for DAB, like to FM technology for Elenos, is EcoSaving application, because we are in the position to warranty, for example, for a 600 watt transmitter, only 2 kilowatt consumption directly to line, all included. This means that we are in the position to warranty 32-33%, up to 35% of efficiency directly from the AC line. Our transmitter all line are in the position to working for SFN, single frequency, or MFN, multi-frequency network operation. Our DAB exciter have a delay compensation for SFN up to 1 second in 100 nanosecond step. Adaptive or non-adaptive or manual pre-correction is depend of the model of the equipment. What is the performance? A high mirror, 33 or 34 dB, for 38 39 dB of shoulder without pre-correction included, without channel filter. Our modulator DAB Plus is a direct-to-channel digital technology, and we are ready for sell and for propose DAB Plus standard. Obviously, for DAB model, we are compliant for DAB model 1, 2, 3, and 4. Our equipment for example, 600 watt or 300 watt, only 4 mechanical units. Sorry, but I push this capability because for us is the most important. Compact dimension, you can think to compact dimension, low weight, low cost of shipment, easy to install and easy to maintenance. Only one people can install this equipment without any help for another person, and it's possible to install and maintenance we using only 4 or 5 mechanical tools. The philosophy of the transmitter is the same for FM transmitter. So front panel with display with encoder that is possible to check and modify all parameter. Rear panel with fans, 6 fans, in order we can install the transmitter at any type of altitude. Real panel with RF connector is a 7/16 flange for 300 and 600 watt, and 1 kilowatt is you can have the option to 7/16 or 7/8 flange AIA connector. In the compact version 300 and 600 watt, we have in the rear panel all connector that we're using for ATI82 input, ATI output, GPS synchronization, 1 PPS and 10 MHz for reference, and LRF monitoring for the exciter signal. 300 watt and 600 watt is single phase power supply alimentation, and 1 kilowatt is 3-phase or single phase power supply alimentation. Okay, this is a very fast overview about our DAB Plus product from Elenos. At the moment, for the portfolio product, we are in this position. We invite all customers or people that we are to interesting about this to send a request to our website or contact me directly at my email address. I leave the microphone to my colleague Guido in order that we can restart another section of webinar. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Daniele. Thank you. But now I'm going the microphone to our Bangkok presenter, Frank. So, Francesco, can you hear me?
Okay, are you going to give me control?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, can you see the presentation now, the antenna coverage maps reference? Is everything okay there?
Yeah, now it's good. Okay, perfect.
Okay, good. Again, we have our delay. What I'm doing with these antenna coverage maps is I'm going to show you a real-world situation of, and I'm sure you're all excited to see what kind of coverage we get with the digital as compared to FM. So I will talk about the criteria for doing the coverage with digital as opposed to with FM. The criteria is a little bit different than FM, and usually with FM we look at the stereo signal measured in decibels per microvolt per meter, and as you can see with digital coverage, this should read digital coverage criteria is the lowest part of the threshold is 34.4, or say about 35 dB per microvolt per meter, and this is a big improvement over what we can do with receivers in FM. And basically, because of the direct-to-channel digital exciters, we're able to use receivers with a reduce the noise by 20 dB, which is a huge advantage of being able to lower the power of our transmitters considerably, which is big savings for everyone. And considering that digital uses it's less efficient than FM, this is a big saving. So the criteria that we'll be looking at, and I'll show the first map, is this is the coverage of we're looking at 3 different areas, and the very light blue will basically show you the threshold of the lowest level that the receivers, digital receivers, will receive from, say, 35 to 55 dB per microvolt per meter. The middle range is sort of more what we go by if we're going to design a system to be able to penetrate buildings and so forth. So this first coverage area is a place called Udon Thani, Thailand, which is up in the north. It's a provincial city. It's about maybe 2 million people, so it's not small, but it's but still has a lot of, it's a very flat area. So I wanted to pick a couple different conditions to show this coverage, and you can see that my very fine coverage in the center of the city is 75 to 100 dB per microvolt. This is a strong signal. It can almost guarantee that all the customers in this area are going to receive good signals. The outlying area in the light blue is basically receiving by car or rural homes and suburban type areas. The middle blue area is also, this is really our goal is to be in this darker blue and the darkest blue area. So this is with 300 watts. We're using 8 dB antenna gain, which using band 3 is much smaller in size than the FM antenna. So again, more compactness, and so you can easily add more power to the antenna and different bays by just increasing the number of bays. These tests were done at 120 meters, which is quite high, but you can see the coverage is pretty substantial. Later on, I can give you some ranges, but basically we're looking from left to right here of a diameter of about 50 kilometers. Okay, the next slide will show if I increase out to 600 watts. So back to 300, and what happens when we go to 600? You can see the center areas become a lot more improved. Finally, so we're looking mainly at using 300 and 600 watts, but if we need to go to something a little bit higher, our 1 kilowatt with 1.2 kilowatts, same conditions. You can see that the areas in the center become larger. This is generally, most likely for this situation, we would be using the 600 watts here. So moving ahead, another area, this is a place called Korat, which is called Nakorn Ratchasima. Anybody that's from Thailand, sorry for the mispronunciation, even though I live here, I still call it Korat like most of the people. This area is a little bit more hilly. It's a big city. It's the second largest city in Thailand, second or third, but again, it's an urban environment and a lot of outlying areas. So again, the same criteria: 300 watts, 8 dB antenna, 120 meter height, and you can see the covers with the light blue as opposed to the dark blue. A little bit different coverage now that I'm a little bit more hilly. You can see the dark area gets to be smaller. Up to 600 watts, what I'm looking at. And then finally a 1 kilowatt here. This again is a very large area. So the coverage is quite impressive. This coverage area, we've done this corridor with 5 kilowatt, and this is about the coverage, believe it or not, of what we would see at 10 kilowatt. I'm going to move back here a little bit. Let me go back. This is about the coverage that we get with 5 kilowatt FM coverage here. So at 600 watts, we're achieving digital about the same we see FM for 600 watts digital. It's quite impressive. Now we'll look at Bangkok. You can see this is really nice because Bangkok's very flat. A lot of rivers here. You've seen floods and things like that here, so you know it's a flat area. But for those of you that know this area or are somewhat familiar with it, can see that I am down here in this area here, where my hand is. Hopefully you can see that cursor here, this little blue dot. I'm down here, and you can see that I'm really at 300 watts. I'm at the fringes of getting this at the center of Bangkok. I move it up to 600 watts, and again, very impressive coverage here. And I'm looking mainly at this area is about 30 kilometers radius. So this is about 60 kilometers. It's very impressive. A note on design, in that most likely for a city like Bangkok, they would probably use, well, they're using a couple of different transmitter sites to basically cover the city to make sure that this dark area is in coverage. The tendency now is to move away from the higher powered systems and to use medium power such as 600 to 1 kilowatt. And then finally at 1.2 kilowatts, you can see the coverage here is really, really impressive. I mean, we're covering quite an area. Even I would be getting some of this fringe coverage here from Bangkok. And as I say, it's 125 kilometers into the center of town here for me, which is 2 hours by car. So I would have real nice coverage into the city, coverage down into this area to the north. The area I showed, Korat, is up here, so we're looking at not quite overlapping coverage, but impressive with smaller powers. So now I'm going to turn the mic back over. Thank you again for attending and to listening to us. And I think the transition from or addition, let's call it transition to DAB can be quite exciting. We're seeing a lot of FM still retained for a while. A lot of stations want to maintain their 88 to 108 at the same time as they increase and add the different features of DAB digital along with stereo or CD quality sound, along with pictures and graphics, and along with text. So I think it's exciting that we're at the start of this area. It's not growing as fast as everybody intended it to be, but here we are with product. It's a reality. It's doable. So again, I turn it over. I'll step out and give it over to the group.
Thank you, Frank. Thanks a lot. We already received a couple of questions, so let me remember everybody, and in the meantime, let me thank everybody, because I see that we have people from all over the world, especially from Asia, Australia, and Europe, I guess, because of the time. So it's not the time of webinars in the USA or in South America. Anyway, so thanks everybody for watching our webinar. And now we are available for your questions. So please remember that you have two ways to make your questions. First one is to press the raise your hand button. If you have a microphone, we can activate your microphone and you can speak directly with Daniele and with Frank and make your questions. Or if you want to write, you have the second way. Just write your question inside the question box that you should see in your screen, and we will reply to your questions. We already received a couple of questions. So the first one is Elenos able to provide 1+1 or N+1 systems for DAB system? Daniele, I guess that you can give an answer.
Yes, thank you for this question. Yes, Elenos is in the position to offer a restall system for 1+1 application or N+1 configuration, N+1 up to 6+1 system, 6 transmitter on air with a different frequency, and one transmitter ready for backup if one of these transmitters have a problem. We can managing in N+1 system the priority about the final customer can assign a different level of priority for different frequency for the DAB transmitter, in order the backup unit can help the transmitter with have a high priority respect to one transmitter that have a low priority. But in any case, we are in the position to provide for and install and offer 1+1 system and N+1 system for DAB system. Thank you for your question.
Okay, here we have a second one. Second question is, how many radio stations can be put inside a unique DAB block? Daniele, I guess that this one is for you.
Yes, thanks, Guido. Yes, based our experience or based our friend experience, for example, in Italy, that we are in contact with us for experimentation and for test of coverage. In the AB plus block can be put inside the 12, up to 12 different radio. But based our experience or based our test, the best results we reach for when we put inside the 9 different network or different radio station inside one RF, one DAB plus block. DAB plus block with 1.5 megahertz of band. 9 different network warranty the very high quality audio, the very high quality audio capability when we are in we are in receive we receive application, and obviously if you put 87665 radio, the quality will better, but our test, and thanks our friend and our people in Italy that we have under contact for the test, 9 different radio are the best configuration for this capability.
Okay, so thanks, Mark, for your questions. Now we have a third one. This one is from Paul, and he's asking what is the typical efficiency for the 600 watt DAB plus transmitter, all included. So Daniele.
Yes, we are provider and install different sizes of transmitter, 300, 600 and 1 kilowatt transmitter. Last installation is a 1 kilowatt transmitter in Italy, in the center of Italy, and the measurement we had measurement make directly on the RF side station. The typical efficiency for 600 or for 1 kilowatt transmitter is our transmitter all included. We are in the position to warranty 33-35% of efficiency directly on IC power in single phase or 3-phase application. This means all included: transmitter, exciter, amplifier, fans, blower to exertion on the fan in the RF side station, and GPS receiver or GPS tool, and for SATA receiver. 33-35% of efficiency is our typical value about this. Thank you Guido for your explanation.
Okay, we have a couple more questions. The first one is from Daya, and the question is, what is the ITU Reagen 3 frequency allocation for DAB? Frank, maybe you can help us with these questions, or Daniele, I don't know.
No problem.
Frank, can you hear me? We have
Daniele, go ahead. Band 3 coverage is the most common. What is the range? I don't have it in front of me right now as a reference.
Okay, good. Anyway, Daya, if you want to go into more details about this, just write us an email. I'm going to show you our contacts. So you can contact Daniele or Frank or me for more details about DAB and ask everything you need. We have a couple more questions. This one is coming from Steen. Do you have an example for a complete transmission line contribution multiplexing incoming signal from several radio stations?
No, but we can
Daniele,
yes.
You can answer.
Thank you, Stan, for your question. Please send me your request by my email, and I have completed draft in order we can try to explain the completely layout about the ATI signal from radio station up to antenna system in order we can try to explain to you what is the flow for different radio stations that go inside the DAB multiplexer and using only one DAB transmitter for coverage the same area. We can prepare in this document for you and we will send as soon as possible to you. We're waiting for your email about this. Thank you, Stan, for your question. Thank you.
So we have one more question. I remember you that if you want to raise your hand, you can speak if you have a microphone, or you can write directly into the question box if you have any question. Now we have a question from Italy. So Mauro, thanks for your question, grazie. Normally, Mauro says that normally if you manage the different service example, if one station is sending only voice and no music, we can manage the bit rate to have more quality for music stations and less for voice.
No. It's completely quality, the same quality. Grazie Mauro for your question. We don't see different because based our test and our experience in the RFSI station that managing in the same time voice and music, we don't have difference between the same radio station with the same equipment that managing only voice or only music. This thanks to the capability of DAB plus signal.
Okay. So.
Okay, I have an answer for the other question, and that the frequency range is from 174 to 240 megahertz. That's complete VHF band coverage, and for our transmitters, it's complete coverage with one transmitter for that range, 174 to 240 megahertz.
Okay, thank you, Frank. We have Daya. Maybe he wants to speak with the microphone. So, Daya, can you hear us?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Daya. How are
Hello.
you?
Welcome.
Yes, can hear.
Hi, Daya. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you, Daniel. And so the transmitters you make is capable of operating from 174 to 240 any frequency. Affirmative?
Daya, I'm sorry, I have the noise on the conversation. About the transmitter?
Yes. The transmitter you manufacture is capable to operate from 174 to 240 megahertz. You can tune it to any frequency?
Yes. The transmitter is able to work at any frequency, 170 megahertz up to 240 megahertz without any tuned frequency adjustment. It's sufficient you select channel, working channel or frequency working about the exciter.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are welcome. The only components in the DAB system that need the frequency allocation is the channel filter. You know about this. But our transmitter without filter is able to work in broadband without any type of RF adjustment.
Okay. So it's a full range transmitter. Thank you.
Yeah, full band.
So full band transmitter. No filter required. Can combine
Combiner is a broadband. Yes, a Planar Technology broadband version.
Okay. And the combiner, what is the minimum spacing you need between channels to combine?
The same spacing recommended for ETSI application. We don't have a different location for frequency.
Okay.
We respect at any part the ETSI frequency allocation and the frequency spacing for ETSI rule.
Okay. Okay. I got it. Thank you so much, Daniele.
You are welcome.
Thank you,
Bye,
Daya.
Daya. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your question. We have one new question coming from Greece, from Elias. How many dB can the received DAB signal be? I don't know. Frank, can you help us with this question?
Hello?
Frank, can you hear
Okay,
me?
the question is how many dB can the receiver typically field? Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned before, the requirement for existing DAB networks, such as in Australia, the UK, or in Finland, Norway, Sweden, the minimum requirement for the receivers is 34.4. As I mentioned before in my coverage. Let me go back to it here in a second. I'll show you one moment.
Okay. So
It's basically 34.4 dB per microvolt per meter.
Yes,
does that answer
correct.
your question, sir?
Yes, correct. No, correct, Frank. Thank you for your explanation. But in any case, Mr. Elias, we recommend to check the capability of your DAB receiver in order different brand and different characteristic change the level of DAB signal that are necessary for receive the DAB block with a good quality about this.
Typically, most of the government bodies have put generic transmitter and generic receiver specifications where there are requirements. So any receiver that enters a market, for example, in any country, the local body will say that, you know, here are the parameters that the receiver has to cover from 174 to 200 plus megahertz, cover all the bands, and the lowest receiver signal to 34.4. So that's typically decided by the local body.
Okay, thank you, Frank, for your explanation, and thank you, Elias, for your question. But I remember of all people that if you have a different question or more question, you can write an email to our email address in order we were happy to answer to you with explanation, with example, and for all information that you need. Guido.
yes, exactly. So thank you, Daniele, for your presentation. Thank you, Frank. Again, contact us for any further questions. We will be happy to answer. Thanks again from Italy to all over the world. Thank you, Francesco, and see you on the next webinar. Thank you, Guido.
Bye-bye.
Thank you to all the people writing now. Thank you. Bye-bye.